Good morning, world citizens. My name is Davinci Jeremy, and my channel is dedicated to a very important topic of savings because, well, everyone needs to know how to save and invest, and especially now in these corrupt times in the world. Today, we're going to be talking about how Bitcoin is 50% off in Argentina, and also how to get that discount. Then we're going to do some Bitcoin TA, and I finally have some question and answers. And if you have some questions you want answered, please leave them in the comment section below. All right, with that said, let's get on with it. How is it possible that you can get 50% off of Bitcoins in Argentina? Well, let me explain. I live in Chile, as most of you know, and a lot of things in Argentina is really messed up. And one of the things that's messed up is the currency, of course, right? They're hyperinflating the currency, and when governments hyperinflate, they refuse to bend the knee to economic reality. And so right now, a US dollar on the black market, on the market rate, basically the real rate, is approximately 130 Argentinian pesos, or 138 Argentinian pesos to one. So every $1. But the official rate, the rate that your bank will exchange it at, the rate that you will get dollars for, right, is almost $68 Argentinian pesos to one US dollar. So that is what they have now. But if you take a look at the price of Bitcoin, what's the price of Bitcoin at? It's tracking mostly close to the black market rate. In fact, you can go to a website called Buda.com, that's BUDA.com, and then change it to Argentina and at the top, and then say, let me see how much it is in Argentina. And you'll see that it's tracking exactly with the black market. So now you can sell your Argentina pesos, right, in the bank, get dollars, buy Bitcoin, and then sell them in Argentina for more than twice as much, as you can see there. Almost twice as much. So yeah, that's just amazing. It's amazing discount that you get on Argentinian pesos. And so effectively, right, you have to admit that people are lining up in banks here in Argentina to get rid of their money, right, to move it into assets that have real value. And they're probably doing all kinds of things to help avoid this this crazy hyperinflation or high inflation that's going on in Argentina. Now, one of the things that they'd like to do is in Argentina is purchase things, computer electronics and stuff like that, and bring it into the country, because it's more than double for anything electronical in the country. So, for example, an iPad, which costs about $500 for the basic iPad, goes for $1,100 in Argentina. So, in effect, many people are just basically electronic goods mules whenever they visit Argentina. And what I've noticed is that a lot of people from Argentina come to Chile to purchase electronic goods. And I think that's just crazy, because it's very expensive for electronic goods. For example, things are basically priced about 20% higher in here than in the United States. And the reason for that is because there's a VAT tax, that's a hidden VAT tax, of 19%. And then, of course, there's the cost of importing and so forth. And so, but the Argentina find it cheaper to buy it here and then bring it over there. And so a lot of goods are purchased in our malls here and brought over to Argentina to be sold at a significantly higher price. So it's very corrupt over there. So how do you get the discount, right? For this massive discount? Because I'm sure you want to do this arbitration, right? After watching this video, you're like, yeah, give me some of that. Well, unfortunately, right? You have to gain access. You must deal with corrupt politicians and banksters in order to get that sweetheart deal of dollars into Argentina pesos back to dollars, right? So obviously the average person cannot do this, and this is a thing that's coming to the United States very soon. So this is why you want to have Bitcoins, because they're going to make it extremely difficult for you to purchase assets and goods at a fair price. So meanwhile, for example, as you can tell right now, as it gets harder and harder to buy silver and gold, that shows that, wait a second, that's not the real price. The real price is a lot higher, and they're not willing to let you purchase assets at the real price, at the fake price. And so therefore you won't be able to buy it at the real price. And thus, the only way you're going to be able to purchase it is at a lot higher price. So this is coming. This behavior is coming to the United States and worldwide, where you'll have the official price of Bitcoin, the official price of gold, the official price of silver, but the real price will be marked at the exchanges and on the street. All right, so let's get on to some Bitcoin TA, and let's talk about what's going on in the markets. Right now, nothing really to talk about on weekly. We're stuck in a doji pattern here, outside the trend lines. This is we've tested like on the weekly 3 times the $10,000 mark and have not broke it. Nothing much has changed there. Going on to the 4-hour, right? Again, we've discussed that we're stuck in this channel. You can see that we've been in this channel for quite a few candles in this 4-hour chart, and we're basically it's clear that if we break to the bottom, we're going down. If we break to the top, we're going up. There is no if, ands, or buts about it. What's good about the positive about this chart is that the 4-hour remains above the 13 EMA, which is a positive sign saying that we could break higher. However, okay, so on this chart, you can see that the on-balance volume has a divergence, whilst we're seeing price go higher, but the volume go lower. That's not a good sign. We also see divergence in the RSI, but the good thing is it's not fully. Is it confirmed? Let's take a look. Let's make a look. Yeah, it is confirmed. So on this 4-hour chart, we have divergence on the on-balance volume. We have divergence on the RSI, not confirmed divergence on the MACD because it has to pass this level here. So it's really up in the air where this thing is going to go. It can go down, it can go up. We have a lot of pressure coming on this market, and you can see that it could turn into an emming out pattern should it break down. Oh, there you go, right there. That's the breakout level, which is where we were talking about here. If it breaks this level, that's it. Adios, muchachos. We're going down. Again, we broke the top. We're going higher. So it's decision time. It's game time. So which way is this thing going? Honestly, it's a coin flip. it's a real coin flipped on this chart here. Either way, it could go either way. I think it might, if it's going to go higher. I'm biased to the upside, but I think there might be an FU move before it actually goes to higher levels. And so I would watch out for that. So if you're going to do any kind of like leverage trading, be careful, because they like to do lots of Darth Mauls. You see, this was a Darth Maul candle right here, that on the last 4 hour overnight. Okay, well, the S&P 500, it looks like it wants to go higher, so maybe Bitcoin will go higher with that. And with that said, let's talk about Pandora's Wallet, where I have a private Telegram group for my Pandora's Wallet subscribers. We talk about what we're trading, what coins I'm buying, when I'm selling it. Also, I'm doing trades basically with everybody in the group. Everybody's having a great time. Everybody's having enjoying themselves. And if you're interested in me talking about your particular coin, all you have to do is purchase 2 years subscription and tell me which coin you want me to do fundamental analysis and technical analysis, and I will do so in one of the videos. All right, so as I was saying, right, earlier in the show, that if you head over to Buddha.com and switch to Argentina pesos, you can see what the Argentina prices are for each and every coin. All right, so looking at the Bitcoin dominance, honestly, it looks like it wants to break this trend line. It wants to break through, and it just can't. We'll see what happens. If it breaks this trend line, that'd be interesting, because that means it will probably test, I would say, the 61.8 level here. If we did a fib retracement, meaning that the alts are going to catch a bid, which is kind of interesting, because this is not the season for the alts just yet. But maybe we might be having that early season. What does that mean? Well, if we do catch a bid, does that mean Bitcoin is going down in value? Not necessarily. It could be Bitcoin going up and dragging the alts with it. We will definitely see in the very short term. All right, looking at CME futures, nothing to gain there. All right, let's end it off with the monthly charts. The monthly charts shows us that, hey, you know what? It's not impossible for us to move up to the 15,000 and then come back down to 10,000 and test this line here. That would be interesting. Wow. Because that would make this, because Bitcoin hasn't broken out of this, broken down from this trend line since forever. So this is why this was an interesting move. And now we're moving back into this trend line. And I don't think we're going to break down from this trend line again. I think this trend line will become the base as we could climb higher over the next 12 to 18 months. All right. Now, with that said, let's head back and talk about hitting the like and subscribe button on your on this video. You can do so by just clicking that button over there and the bell icon, and don't forget to click the show more button, right, to join my backup channel on library.davincej15.com. If you just lbry.davincej15.com into your browser, it will take you straight to my channel. And please subscribe there so that if YouTube decides to kick me off, well, you'll be able to still watch my videos. Alrighty. First question and answer for the day. But before we go into that, don't forget to leave your questions in the comment section below so that I can answer them. All right. Where can I buy silver from a reputable site business? Thank you. Well, I know of two sites that I've purchased gold and silver from. One is obviously goldsilver.com. That's Mike Maloney's website, and that's a very trusted dealer right there, and you could actually he has the options to do storage. Same with APMEX. It's apmex.com is where you could also purchase gold and silver. Links will be in the description below. Okay, next question is from Aaron Nasik. I respect you and your opinion, but even in 50 years, gold will not be 50K. Okay, so just so you know, right, right now, the government is printing twice as much. Like, let's just say you wanted to cover all the costs of government, like everything that they wanted to do, all you wanted to yourself, Aaron, you wanted to pay for everything the government was doing, all the bailouts, everything, all the paying for the airlines, paying for the cruise lines, paying for everybody that wants money. In order to accomplish that, the government will have to double your taxes. Double your taxes. They would have to, no, they'd have to go to more than double, actually, because they're spending twice as much as what they take in. Right now, they wanted to go $6 trillion in debt. They only make $3 trillion. So that means your taxes has to go up. Let's just say you're paying normally $10 for taxes. That means you have to pay another additional $20 for your taxes. You'd have to pay a total of $30 for your taxes. Now, your taxes, like most people are paying what? 40%. For federal taxes, I'd say, I guess it'd be like 30%, 33% or something like that. So that means you'd have to give them 100% of your money. Oh, yeah. Okay, so instead of that, right, what they're doing is they're just printing that money and buying whatever they want to. So obviously that's going to turn into inflation and cause the price, the value of the dollar to go down. Now, the only way for them to recover from this and to make it work, if they were to like stop and decide to follow economic reality, is after the hyperinflation, is to go back on the gold standard. And in order for them to do that, based on how much gold the United States has, they would have to price gold at $50,000 based on the 8,000 tons and the amount of currency out that's currently been printed. So yeah, it's easy to make this $50,000 mark if they want to back every single dollar out there with gold. Okay, so Josh Owens. Gold is hard to verify, authenticate, expensive to transport, hard to subdivide, can be counterfeited, can also be confiscated, expensive to secure, etc. Because of these security flaws, central banking came along as a solution. How can a physical commodity, gold and silver, compete with digital commodity, Bitcoin, for the role of global money? Okay. Now, just because the government are most likely going to want to go back to a gold standard, they're going to want that more than a Bitcoin standard. Absolutely. And the reason why they want that more than a Bitcoin standard, because they know that eventually they can just take away the gold from underneath, right? They can still print more money and pretend they have gold backing, right? So this is why they would prefer a gold standard over a Bitcoin standard. And the reason why that it'd be difficult for them to take away the backing of a Bitcoin standard is because it's easy for you to take possession of a digital asset such as Bitcoin, and people will do so, and thus they will not be able to fake you out with fake Bitcoins or digital representations of a copy of a Bitcoin. You're going to want the real thing, and thus, yes, it will be difficult for them to compete to a point where they will eventually fail. But remember, there's one thing that Winston Churchill said: Americans always do the right thing once they've tried everything else. And that's where we're going. We're gonna try everything else before we actually do the right thing. Okay, well, thank you everyone for watching. Tomorrow's video, we're gonna be doing a discussion about Nano. We're gonna be doing TA on Nano and also a little bit of fundamental analysis because somebody's subscribed to Pandora's Wallet, and you can be part of this as well. Finally, with Bitcoin, I can save for retirement and know that I will be able to buy more in the future. Thus, my labor is preserved. Thank you.